Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my October 2024 Shop My Stash. It is officially spooky season. It's been spooky season in my house since right before Labor Day, but now it is officially spooky season. We're going to be pulling out some Halloween makeup, some colorful makeup, some iridescent shifty tones. That is what we're going to be doing. I did skip my September Shop My Stash, one, because I was super busy. Two, I really wanted to focus on getting a lot of things used up, and I did use up a lot of products. I posted about this in my community tab. Our water heater started leaking, so we had leaks in the upper shower, in the hallway bathroom, as well as in the laundry room. We had some flooding. It was a hot mess. We did not have hot running water for a week, literally a week. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. What I'm going to be doing with this Shop My Stash show, I'm going to be doing a little bit different. I have already pulled all the products that I'm going to be using for October. So I'm just going to show you what I pulled. So we won't be doing that part in this Shop My Stash. I'll be going back to a traditional Shop My Stash in September. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm just going to show you guys what I pulled and just kind of talk about that. So this should go pretty quickly. First of all, my empties. As you can see down here, this bucket right here, this is all of the products, the makeup products that I've used up so far in 2024. And as you can see, I have used up a lot. I got through a lot of the foundations that I was working on. I tend to mix foundations, so I was mixing 2, sometimes 3 formulas together just to get the perfect look. But yeah, as you can see, I did go through a lot. Very excited about that. I'm going to need a new bucket soon because I'm still working on the empties. These are the current empties that I'm working on. I finished up the one from JCat. I also finished up the one from Essence. And there was one other one over here that I was working on that I finished. Now we have the Ardell Camouflage. You can see that one is almost done. I'm currently mixing it with the one from House Labs. Both of these are a little bit dark, so I mixed them with my shade adjusting drops from Eyelash Studio. All right, so first, let me show you over here what I pulled, and then I'll show you the palettes and everything else. First of all, foundations. I pulled out my About foundation. This is the one from Halsey, so I wanted to use that one as well as my Eyelash Studio Satin Drops. We're now going into the fall and the winter, so I don't need as much mattifying as I need in the spring and the summertime. As far as primers, we have my Cosmic Girl from Eyelash Studio. I'm about to do another Shop Miss A haul, and I'm going to be ordering 2 more of these. These are an awesome mattifying primer. It's supposed to be a gripping primer. I don't think it grips very well, but mattifying, it works awesome for that. I also pulled out another mattifying primer. This is the one from Ulta Beauty. This is just their mattifying face primer. And then the last primer I pulled out, this one is from Moira. This is the Complete Facial Primer. So this is just like a pore filling primer. I kept in... This is the Contour and Conceal palette from Revolution. I've only been using this one right now for the corrector. As you can see, I've almost used it up. Once I use that up, I'm going to start focusing on the bronzers. These products over here, I don't really like, so I will not be using those. But yeah, as you can see, I made a good dent in that corrector. I'll have this done by the end of this month. I pulled out 2 concealers. I pulled out my Mega Last from Wet n Wild, the Incognito. Actually, that's the only concealer that I pulled out. I did pull out another corrector. This is the one from Ulta Beauty. I want to get some more use out of this one. And then I pulled in a new eyeshadow primer. I have not used this one yet. I'm wanting to give it a try. This is the Flawless Primer from Eyelash Studio. I'm not sure what the shade is. Does it say? I don't think so, but I do want to try this one. Over the last couple of months, I actually used them up. I was working on, as far as mascaras, 2 OG mascaras. The Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and then the one from The Balm, their traditional classic mascara. I used up both of these, or both of those. I've actually used those before, so that was not my first time ever using those. Now I have these 2. This one is the Rise Above from Floss. It's just a lengthening mascara, and then this one is the False Lashes Lash Princess from Essence. This one I love. This one is not very good at all. It's supposed to be a lengthening. It doesn't really give me a whole lot of length. So what I've been doing is just kind of combining the 2, or I'll put my waterproof mascara over this one on its own. This one is just not very good, but these are the mascaras that I'm currently working on. I kept in my NYX Powder Louder. I'm just going to keep this one in until I use it up, and then I'll switch to another brow pencil. I also kept in my Draw the Line. This is the liquid liner from Beauty Creations. I've almost used this one up, so I'm just going to keep it out until it's done. I have 2 liquid liners. This first one is the Slick Flick from Relove a Revolution. And then this one I have never used before. It's a green one from ColourPop. The BFF liquid liner in the heels. I thought maybe this would be cute with like purple eye looks or something like that, for Halloween. Hopefully it's not dry. I got this out of a mystery box. I have never used it, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try this month. For setting sprays, I pulled out two. We have the Stay All Night Micro Fine Mist Setting Spray from e.l.f. And then from AOA Studio, we have just their regular setting spray. Neither one of these is like super mattifying or like super long wearing as far as holding my makeup in place. But once again, with us going into the fall and winter, I don't really need, my makeup locked in place like I would in the spring and summer whenever I need that more mattifying, locked in effect. Powders. I pulled in the LA Girl Pro Powder. I have not used this one before. This is a brand new one. Translucent for all skin tones. This one I've almost used up. This is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Loose Powder in Translucent. As you can see, we have almost used this one up. Once I use this one up, I'm going to switch to this one. I think I'm going to bring in the Wet n Wild Banana Powder, the Sesame Street one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one in once I finish using this one. As far as my under eye powder, I've almost used this one up as well. This is from AOA Studio. This one is the Puff and Set. I did want to mention, hold on just a second. This one is the new Puff and Set, the reformulated version that AOA Studio launched. This one is so nice. This one isn't translucent. It's a lot finer, softer. It looks a lot more bloated in the skin. It doesn't look as heavy as the previous formula did. This is a definite win. The reformulated version is definitely so much better than the original. That's everything here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the palettes out. I'm just going to kind of lay them on my bed so you guys can kind of see them open, and then we'll just talk about them individually. One thing I would say, I have not really been buying a whole lot of makeup over the last couple of months. I've mainly been using up things. I've been working a lot to try to hit some financial goals, but in October, I'm going to start buying some new things. So a lot of this stuff are things that I already had. A couple of things are new. Let's start with this one. This is the Glam Light and Kiss collaboration. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So we're going to be pulling this one in. I just love these vibrant colors and these really just, what's the word I'm looking for? Glam shimmers. This is going to be really, really pretty for putting together some Halloween looks. And then we have, this is the Little Ghost palette. This is the Angelica Nyquist and Uden's Eye collaboration. I got this one out of a mystery box. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. This is what the color story looks like in this one. I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm looking forward to trying that orange shimmer on the bottom and then this yellow on the top. They're really pretty, like rich brown. It looks like a purple on camera, but in person it looks more brown, that top corner shade. Next we have from Ace Beauté, the Oceanic palette. I pulled this one because of these just really pretty, rich, shimmery greens and blues. I thought this would make some really pretty, glossy, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of witchy Halloween looks. Looking forward to using this one more. And then we have from Nomad, this is the Ghost Town USA. Another shifty cover. I love this one. This one is more cool toned. The shimmers in here are so creamy and buttery. Definitely looking forward to putting together some more looks with this palette. Then we have, this one is an OG, or rather it's been around for a while. I think this came out 2 or 3 years ago. This is part of that Disney, the first collaboration. I think it was the first collaboration, or one of the first collaborations that Disney did. You had the designer palette, the princess palette, and this one is the Villains Misunderstood. This one has some of the prettiest shades. This green right here, oh my god, this is going to be perfect. So are these right here. This one I think is a matte Revenge. But yeah, this is going to be a perfect color story for putting together some Halloween looks. And then the last palette I pulled out is the one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this is their newest palette. This is the Fall Romance. Did this come out last year? I think it came out last year. I love this one. This is my first full palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'd never owned one before. I hadn't seen any of the color stories that really stood out to me, but I saw this one and I had to have it. These really pretty suede looking tones. I'm going to use this one this month and then I'm going to pull it back out probably around the holidays because this will be pretty for some holiday looks too. But yeah, those are all the palettes that I'm going to be using this month. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to quickly go through the blushes and the highlighters and bronzers and all that I pulled out. It looks like a lot, but there are different tones, different shades, some glitzy shades, some more subtle shades. So I'm going to pull everything out, kind of lay it out on the carpet, and then we'll kind of go through this and I'll tell you what my thinking is for what I'm going to do for October. All right, blushes and highlighters. Like I said, it looks like a lot, but they're different tones, different shades in here. Some things are going to be kind of like mixing and matching. As you guys know, as I mentioned before, I like to put a cream blush on, set that down powder, and then put a little bit of a powder blush over just to kind of help it last a little bit longer. So that's kind of one of the things I'm doing. But quickly, this first one, this is from ColourPop. The shade is in Baby Cakes. It looks more, no, that's about accurate. It's a more purpley mauve kind of a tone. I like more cool toned blushes in for October, for Halloween, just because of the type of looks that I like to use. So we have that one, and then this one is very similar to this one, except for this one is shimmery, so I can put this one over the top just to add a little bit of shine to that one. This one is from Be Perfect. The shade is in Fever. It's so freaking pretty. Then we have, this is a brighter purple blush that came out of a Willy Wonka advent calendar last year. I don't really use this very often, obviously, because of the very purpleness of it. This is the Powder Blueberry blush, but for, this time of year when you're doing these more spooky looks, this is going to be pretty. And I have used this a couple of times. It's on the face, it's not as bright and purple as it looks in the pan, but this is going to be perfect. This one I wanted to try. I got this one out of my last Allure Beauty box. It's Nude Sticks. Their matte blush. I will say I got to pick the shade out, but the one that I thought I was picking out was more peachy. Like in person, it looks more peachy, but when you look on camera, it looks more pink. And when I swatched it, it was more pink. Like even here on the bottom, it looks more peachy. The shade is called Sunset Strip. Yeah, it just was not the shade that I thought it was going to be, but I do want to give this a try since it is new to my collection. Then we have, this one is more very just really, really cool tone mauve. It looks similar to that one right there. I can actually put this one down, set it down in powder, and then put that one over it if I wanted to. This is from Profusion. This is in Wild Rose. This is a really pretty cream to matte formula. I've only used this one a couple of times, but yeah, that's going to be pretty. And then this is, it's a little stack, the Ulta Beauty Ready Set Blush Cream Blush stack from Ulta Beauty. I'm pulling this one out for this bottom shade. This shade is called, I think, Nevermind Soft Berry Shimmer. So this is one that I can blend over the cheek and then like set it down with one of the purpley powder shades over here. Let's go ahead and close some of these. I have a couple of other cream blushes. This is a more neutral. It's a Color Flush from AOA Studio. The shade is in Walnut. I've almost used up the really orangey one. I love orangey tones also for October, but I have a lot of orange tones that are currently in my everyday makeup drawer, so I didn't need to pull out like any more just orangey blushes for that reason. This is from AOA Studio. This is the Venetian Romance. The shade is in Tea Party. It's a kind of a subtly orange tone, more of a neutral. And then I wanted something a little more red. This is from ColourPop, Just Plain. This is the ColourPop and Mariella. I don't know who she is, but I do like this blush. It's a really, really pretty red. I got this one out of a mystery box. I had another one that I had purchased before. That one dried out. And so I just tossed that one and replaced it with this one. And then the last blush that I pulled out, this one is just for like a more everyday neutral, just in case I don't want to do anything like wild and dialed up for, more glam for October. This is just an everyday one. So AOA Studio, it's the Petal Pop. There's a cream and a powder in here. This one is in Banquet. So this one is just like for my everyday, more neutral tone. For bronzers, I pulled out the Venetian Romance. The shade is in Canal. Really pretty creamy formula. And then I pulled out two powders. Neither one of these is like super bronzy, but going into the fall and the winter, I don't need to be super bronzed. We have the Sephora Matte Bronzer in Santorini. And then this one is the AOA Studio Powder Bronzer, Light Matte Finish. The shade is in Toasted. This one is very close to my skin tone, but this is going to be good just when I just want to warm it up just a little bit, but I don't want to be like super bronzy, because we are going into the fall and since we are in the fall going into the winter, so I pulled those. Now for highlighters. In October, I definitely like the more shifty, colorful, more glam looks. This is the Noctilucent. This is from Blend Bunny. These tones are so shifty, so glitzy. You don't really like see the shifts very well like on camera, but they are like super, super shifty. Each one of these is a different shift, it's a different tone, it's a different shade. So I can do multiple looks using these. And these will also work really well as like eyeshadows as well, like shimmer eyeshadow toppers. So I can use that for that. And then the last one I pulled out, I have up there a couple of other highlighters that are currently like in my everyday drawer. So I have other highlighter options as well, just for like everyday ones, but these are just my more glitzy ones. This one is a green to blue shift. This one is from Udenzai. The shade is in Moon Talk. This is part of the Soulmane Moonlight Feel highlighter collection. This is so pretty. I have pulled out the one, it was part of the, I think the second ColourPop collaboration with Hocus Pocus, but when I swatched them, it was absolutely identical to this highlighter, so I didn't need to have all of them. But this is all of the blushes and highlighters, and that is everything that I pulled for October. So definitely look forward to some more looks. I'm hoping to get some looks done for Instagram. I haven't really been posting much over there, but I would love to post some Halloween looks to post over there for you guys. So definitely be looking out for that. Next month, I will do a more traditional Shop My Stash, and I also hope to get a lot more videos done, starting with October, since I won't be as busy as I have been in the past. Next week, we're going to a festival. We're going to Oktoberfest. I might vlog that. We will have to see. I also have a Temu haul coming. Right over there is my haul. I have a couple sweatshirts, some fall and Halloween like spooky t-shirts. So I'm going to be doing like try-ons of those. And then next week, I think, or this coming weekend rather, I should be able to get the actual video filmed and then get it up on either Sunday or Monday, sometime between Sunday and Tuesday. So we have that coming as well. So yeah, that is going to be it for the Shop My Stash. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about this particular format. If you like me doing it this way, let me know, and maybe I'll just do it this way in the future instead of actually pulling it. But if you do prefer me doing the makeup, going through the makeup, let me know just which format you guys like more. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.